How are you? Good morning. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, this is a judgment from the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. Gerry and Kate McCann had appealed to that court under what stands as Article 8. That is their right to family life and to privacy. Now, this does relate to a book, documentary, newspaper interviews done by Goncalo Amaral, who was a detective who was working on the investigation into the disappearance of Madeleine, which was back in 2007 when she was just 3 years old. Now, he actually retired the following year, 2008, wrote a book. He's actually subsequently written a second book in which he makes it clear that he thinks responsibility lies with the McCanns. They clearly have been holding a long-standing grievance against Mr Amaral, and appealed obviously to the Portuguese courts, who dismissed that, and then appealed to the European Court of Human Rights, saying that their privacy and their right to a family life have been infringed. But that was, in a sense, a legal mechanism for effectively looking for redress, appealing for libel in terms we would recognise, and saying that they had been misrepresented, that their reputation had been trashed. That appeal has now been rejected by the court. We've just received the judgment in front of us here. It is a long judgment, and it makes pains, absolute pains, to say that the rejection of this case does not in any way suggest any culpability, any criminal culpability should be passed in the direction of the McCanns. But what it does say is that on this specific allegation about privacy, about the right to a family life, that the McCanns could not legitimately claim that because of the high-profile nature of this case, because of their proactive involvement with what was clearly a very, very high-profile media coverage. And to that extent, they had abrogated their right to privacy. So on this very specific area, this complaint, they have lost this. The knock-on effects of this, clearly, in terms of the cost of this legal proceeding to the McCann family, will now be a question for them.